Good morning. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. I have been doing home improvement for 3+ decades. Can you believe it? I'm going to celebrate my 20th year on the radio next year. It's a pretty long time.
30 years or so.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah, you've been around a long time.
Yeah, I'm an old guy. I don't want to date myself or anything, but
it's funny. So in studio, we have Greg Repsidis from The Landscaper, right?
Thanks for having us, Adam.
Where are you at?
Pleasure to be here.
Where are you located?
We're in Roseville.
Perfect.
Service the Tri-County area.
And you brought Adam Trapp.
Adam Trapp.
Good morning, Adam.
Good morning.
That's cool. And of course, in the co-host seat, my girl,
Woo-hoo.
Ashley Thomas.
Thank you, Adam. That was a good introduction. I like
Sherwood Forest Landscaping Garden Center?
Sherwood Forest Garden Center.
Garden Center. Okay, Sherwood Forest Garden Center. Is your dad listening?
Let's see. What time is it? Is he up yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, he may be.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Carol's got to put up with Dwight. And she's always listening.
Dwight likes to argue with me, though.
Yeah.
I love that. I like a good
He likes
fight.
to argue.
248-539-9797. Today's shout out Saturday. If you're a contractor listening, we'd love to give you a shout out. You got a question Google can't answer? We're here. Give us a shot. We'll take care of it. In studio is Greg Repsidis, like we talked about, the landscaper. Greg, how was your season?
Season was great, Adam.
It was.
Oh, it was fabulous.
Okay.
Wish we had more guys to work, but the work was there.
Labor's a crazy problem right now.
Labor's the craziest problem.
I figured as much. Ashley, what about you, labor?
It's the same story we sing every day.
Yeah.
And once you find somebody and you get them trained, then it's I'm moving, my kid's sick, I'm changing direction with my occupation. It's like you spend all this time with them, these individuals, and then they're gone.
I used to say I could write a book with all the excuses I have. Now I need a daily blog because there's so many new ones every single day. It's you sit at your desk in the morning and you're drinking your coffee and who's not going to show up today?
Who's not going to? Yeah,
and
who is?
you need extra people to take their place when they don't show up.
Let me ask you. It's a really interesting situation. I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea. I'm going to throw it out there. And by the way, if you have a question, 248-539-9797. We're going to be talking about landscaping, what to do the wintertime, and then we're going to transition to basement waterproofing. It's such a big topic, and finding good waterproofing contractors is very difficult. So we're going to talk about that because Greg happens to be one of the better waterproofing contractors around Metro Detroit. So we're going to talk about that as well. But Greg, let me ask you this. Finding employees. Is it make sense? We're not talking politics, but you hear on the news all these people coming across the border and migrants. Is that the right one?
That's what they're called. These days, I don't know
can
what
we
they're
pick
called.
them up down in Texas and put a bus load up to Michigan? What do you do?
I wish we could. I mean, they're great
Is it
workers.
legal to do that? Can we figure out a way?
No.
Yeah.
Heck no. So we don't have to bleep it out. Heck no.
Yeah.
Interesting. By the way, I didn't know. I just wasn't sure. Because look at. Some people get offended. Wow, I'm local. I need a job. Okay, you do. Well, get up, apply, and then stick to it.
Yeah. Where do you get your employees from? Are they personal, friends, family?
We have ads on Indeed and a couple other platforms, and then we have a word of mouth thing. If you're an employee and you bring somebody in that's an employee and they last for more than a month, you get a bonus. You get a referral bonus.
Okay, that's a great idea. Do you do any college students?
So college students, we found
short term.
Well, in the last couple of years, they don't want to work.
They don't want to work.
These younger kids don't want to work.
Here's the thing. I'm going to say what ruined that. Okay, Google and Apple, and here's why. You can Google how long should it take to lay sod. You can Google how long should it take to do a bathroom, and the answer comes up in a millisecond. Okay, when someone says to you, "Hey, Greg, I want to do my sod, and I'd like to have you do it," it's weeks. Right? Because you got to order it. You got to make sure the ground is ready.
Yeah, but then it's done right. It's done right, though, by going through a company.
Correct.
Versus, people think that they can order a pre-decorated Christmas tree online or they can order a tree online.
Well,
and when it comes in, it's a stick.
Well, and that's what I wanted to ask you, because people get the answer instantly, and they're, the world's impatient. Now they're saying, I used to do YouTube videos, and by the way, great YouTube videos, Hire It Done. And then watch us on Facebook Live. If anyone's in there right now, go to Hire It Done on Facebook. And we got live in studio, which is kind of cool. But my point is, Greg, people are impatient. I used to do Facebook videos and they said, or YouTube videos, 3 minutes and 14 seconds is the attention span. You know how much it is today? It went down to 30 seconds. And if you don't hook them in 30 seconds, the people are gone. Next, next. I mean, it's crazy. So our business is slow and methodical, planned properly, and the key, like Ashley and I said earlier, if you don't communicate, you're done.
Communication is one of the biggest things.
Right.
That's something Adam and I have been talking about for a while. So Adam, we introduced him, but Adam's going to head up our waterproofing division. He's a retired plastics and fluid engineer. He's bored and needed something to do. We've been lifelong friends, and he had a couple people come over and quote some stuff at his house. And it was a 2-hour spiel, a 3-hour spiel. They wouldn't leave his house. Like, I couldn't get these sales guys out of my house.
That's exhausting.
And at the end of the process, their price went from $30,000 to $20,000.
And this is for like
for small improvements.
Roofing, siding, windows.
Yes.
But Adam, let me ask you a question, and we'll talk about this in a little bit. But you were a customer of. Did you called one? You heard my show and you called
Roof Resource.
Right. Okay. You went to the Roof Resource. So let me ask you. Well, we'll talk about that later. So were you satisfied though?
I was very satisfied.
Okay, so we're going to bring that up in a little bit because a lot of people say to me, "Hey, Adam, I heard you talk about this roofing company. There's a roof at cost. Unique, right?"
Yeah. Very.
So you use it. That's just I didn't even realize it. We're going to talk about that when we come back. We're going to take a quick break. 248-539-9797. We've got Greg Rapsidis, Adam Trapp from The Landscaper, Ashley Thomas, Sherwood Forest Garden Center. Loving that. My name's Adam Helfman. Keep it locked in here, and we're on Facebook Live. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. You want to check us out in studio? Ashley Thomas from Sherwood Forest Garden Center.
Good morning.
She is in her pajamas.
Saturday, salty Saturday, now Christmas PJ day.
Adam, I didn't know it was a pajama day.
I know, I didn't either. No,
I didn't get the memo.
I'm going to wear my Santa hat next week. I'm going today to get Santa picture with you. We're going to totally do that. I'm going to definitely upset my whole Jewish community, but I eat bacon, so I have permission from God.
God bless you.
Right?
I eat bacon.
Right.
He loves bacon. He loves bacon.
He does love bacon, right?
Yeah.
Right? Meanwhile, we got Greg Rapsidis from The Landscaper in studio. I want to talk really quick about wintertime landscaping. So it's December. If someone's planning the big project, don't you agree, Greg, they should start now, planning it now? Not maybe do the work, but plan it now.
We've got 8 jobs on the book for next year already.
Big one.
Now's a great time to start planning. People don't understand. They call us up and they say, well, I want a patio, I want a kitchen, I want to rip out my backyard, I need this, I'm thinking about a pool. Well, that doesn't happen overnight. Like we talked about earlier, everybody wants everything done right away. Everything wants everybody to tomorrow. I call you today.
I need it. I want it now.
Yeah. So
that's why I'm telling you.
That's not the reality of what we do, right? So if you're looking to get a bigger project done, give us a call now. Let's start on the ideas, the designs, picking your materials, finalizing everything, and then getting on the schedule, because any good contractor, as you know, Adam, is not going to be available when you call them and then say, hey, I want a bigger than average project. Can you do it next week? No, we can do it in 2 months.
We're having a party at the end of the month.
My kids graduate, and those are the best ones at the beginning of the year. We're having a graduation party
in 2 weeks.
And
I need a deck.
And I want you to do all this work. And can we have it done by then? No.
248-539-9797. It's Shout Out Saturday. You got a question Google can't answer. We'd love to help you out. Shout out to Bob Turner. Actually, you know Bob Turner.
Hi, Bob.
Bob, I was going to put the helmet on, but it didn't work. It's too big. Or too small. My head's too big, obviously.
Bob's got to come into Sherwood. He still hasn't been there either.
No?
Well, we're going to know.
Bob, let me pick you up. We're going to get a picture with Santa today, hopefully, but we'll see what happens. Shout out to Javier Hernandez, H&H Home Improvement. I just finished a project with Javier. He helped me do a bathroom, a laundry room. And I got to be honest with you. This guy I've known for like 10 years. He has come such a long way. It's great to see a contractor evolve into being a really good guy. So Javier and Joe, really good guys. Thank you so much for listening. Shout out to Frank Kellogg. He's listening. Thank you, Frank. Don't forget, if you have another question, here's one. This is to you, Mike. I mean, to Greg. Sounds like they aren't paying enough to make it worth it, but is the most ridiculous banner. No one wants to work anymore. No one wants to break their back for pennies. Okay, so let me ask you this, Greg. What do you I know the good landscapers are paying more money. What are you paying for your guys?
Well, so I'll just start off by saying we pay above the average market rate. So we do an ad campaign. We'll get 30, 40 guys applying.
How many show up?
After
You
applying.
have that many applicants?
Oh my God.
Actually, so in the last 3 months we have. Before that, we'd have 2 applicants a month.
Sure.
So,
give me at least half the staff.
So the thing is, you get 30 people that apply. Then our hiring manager calls everybody up. You whittle that down to about 8 that want to come in for an interview.
Yeah.
Then about 3 come in for the actual interview. Then you get 1 guy that actually comes in for the job.
How long does he last?
And then 1 out of 10 of those guys actually stay.
Okay.
So
that's the reality of today.
That's the reality of today. And we are paying 30% more than the landscaping company down the street. On top of that, wages have gone up
tremendously.
I mean, more than doubled. Your average laborer is making more than double what he was making 5 years ago.
So can I ask what you're paying for a guy that has a little bit of experience?
Sure. Experience, $30 plus an hour.
30 hours plus.
I mean, your average laborer that is coming in that doesn't have a driver's license, has never picked up a shovel, is never doing anything, is making $18 to $20 an hour.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. 18 to 20 for a starter.
For a starter, and somebody that knows nothing that wants to be trained, that's trainable.
Okay. So if you paid well, you'd say it. Well, we're saying it, buddy. So here's what I have to ask you then. And let me ask you to do this. If a person you feel is pretty good and they stay a while, can you give them a bonus after? Like, is that something that real?
We are very bonus
Friendly.
incentive driven.
Okay.
If you come, we have 5 tiers of bonuses because we don't want you to. We got the big carrot up here that we dangle, right?
Yeah.
So you can get up to 5 weeks of bonus pay. 40 hours times 5 is 20. So you can get 5 weeks.
200 hours.
No. 5 weeks of pay if you come in and you don't miss a day. Pretty simple. You're just coming in to do your job, right? And then
Where do you get? You pay that like in a bonus, or like you add it to the check
Well,
over a
he's
couple weeks?
rewarding people for
and
showing
a bonus
up.
at the end of the year. So if you come in and keep in mind, we don't work year round. In another 2 weeks, we're off, and we
Yeah.
don't start up until
Do
May
you
again.
push snow
Yeah.
still? or
No,
you
we don't do
any.
any. We stopped doing snow about 3 years
That's
ago.
really a backbreaker.
Yeah. So you only have to come in for 9 months of the year.
Yeah.
A season. So you're coming in for 9 months, and you're getting a 5-week bonus check if you just show up for your job every day, which was what my dad did every day for 36 years, never
Right.
missed one day.
Yeah,
He
that's
would-
the old school workers.
So
though. They're the best.
100%.
That's a great incentive, though. It's crazy that we have to get
Actually,
to that.
what about you guys? Because you guys, it's same thing. You have trouble getting laborers for some of your landscape work and
Sure.
for your place.
You know, that's why I was asking you about college kids.
Yeah.
I do have a good handful of college kids where they come at the right time I need them.
Yeah.
Okay. They come in that June, July, August time frame.
Yes.
Okay. So a body's a body. A guy to hold a shovel that's one more person that I'll take. On the other hand, you put too many guys on a crew, lackadaisy. The one guy that has always been there, he'll be there, but you got kids to dig the hole. They don't want to dig the hole anymore. So it's very fine line working with an 18-year-old to working with, a 55-year-old. And having them mesh well is also another issue.
That's a big issue is the guys getting along. These days, everybody's offended by something. So every single day, it's like you're babysitting, like you're running a daycare
Yes.
center because
Right.
he said something about, he told me to do this. I
Yeah.
don't want to do this.
He's lazy. He doesn't do the work.
Exactly.
I'm doing everything.
Oh,
I
it's-
need more.
I-
Blah,
yeah,
blah, blah, blah,
I
blah.
do
It's like running a
everything,
daycare
right.
center. It's like
248-539-9797. You got a question. You have a question that Google can't answer, or don't forget it's Shout Out Saturday. Ashley Thomas in studio from Sherwood Forest Garden Center. Ashley's in her pajamas today. Go to Facebook Live to check her out. Someone just texted.
Christmas PJs.
She has a perfect face for radio.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
Maybe you should come over here and sit on my lap for a minute. Let everyone see you on.
That's what you were going to
Facebook
go
Live.
do with Santa, I thought.
You want me to sit on your lap, Adam?
We'll pass. We have Greg Grapsidis with Adam Trapp from The Landscaper. Adam, let me ask you a question, really quick, because you this was interesting really quick. You needed a new roof, and you've heard me on the show talk about the roof resource, yes?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you actually had them give you a quote?
Yeah, I actually called before I heard your show. I called one of the national brands. They
You're like a guy you see on TV.
Yeah.
Don't say the
give you
name,
a
but just,
30
how long
point-
were they there for?
2.5 hours.
They were at your house for 2.5 hours.
Yes.
Okay, so, wow.
That's longer
the
than my
problem.
house cleaner.
In-home, by the way, in-home sales since COVID has been really, really anxiety producing for everyone to know that. So, Adam, I just wanted to ask you, 2.5 hours. You know what? We're going to have to take a quick break. I want to continue this conversation. For everyone out there, this is a great story about roofing, 2.5 hours with contractors in the house, and then getting it virtual online. My name's Adam Helfman. Keep it locked in here. This is Hire It Done. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Hired Done. My name's Adam Helfman. 248-539-9797. Shout out Saturday. Ashley, I'm going to read this to you.
I keep doing the salty
Go to
Saturday.
Facebook Live. Yeah. Go to Salt Sale Saturday.
Can't
What
say
it is,
it.
by the way. It is Salt Sale Saturday. 248-539-9797. Ashley, I want your opinion of this because we're good friends.
Shoot.
Maybe I'm offending you and maybe I'm not. But go to Facebook Live. Jesus, how inappropriate was the comment by Adam that the females sit on his lap? What? If he runs a company, he needs to have some HR training. Disgusting. So go to
Whoa.
Facebook Live. Ashley, did I offend you? Yes or no?
Absolutely not.
Okay. I'm sorry
Honestly,
if I did.
Thank you. But
sorry to my audience.
It went right.
So Facebook Live, will you come and sit on my lap?
Sure.
To show
Are you
everybody?
asking if you'd be
Sure.
offended if I sat on your lap?
Well, will the chair break?
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out.
Okay, so Adam Trapp from The Landscaper. Adam, you recently went to the Roof Resource and had us give you a quote.
I did. And
Okay.
I started off.
You got another quote, though, from another contractor.
Correct. I got a quote from a TV ad, the 30-point inspection. They came out. They spent 2.5 hours at my house. I'm trying to get work done. We have a puppy. I had to lock him up. My wife's working from home, and what the icing on the cake was, he went out to his car. He brought a big Pelican box,
Okay.
like bigger than something you take on an airplane, into my kitchen and slammed it on the floor. And the experience was not good. He couldn't even. The house is so tall, he couldn't even get on the roof.
Did they use a satellite photo?
No.
Not at all? He didn't
No.
even know how many squares you had?
I think he guesstimated it
Really, just from looking?
just from looking. And he did go up there, but he was afraid to get on the roof.
Because it was too tall.
It was too tall.
So he just guesstimated.
He
That's a
guesstimated
big
it.
deal. Having the camera go.
Yeah, the
what is it
satellite
called?
photo.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, Roof R or Eagle View. There's a few of them out there. They're good because, because of liability, insurance and all that, it's an accepted practice today to do and they're 98% effective. So that's what they should have done. But anyways, how long was the guy there?
He was there for 2.5 hours.
Okay.
And the icing on the cake. And
Was
the
it?
wine-
Did it cause you? That's a long time.
It was
Were you
a long
sweating?
time, but I was concerned about my home. It's like I'll spend a little bit of time, but it went too long. The thing though is he gave me a price of $32,000.
$32,000, and that was in the beginning. How
That
did
was
he
the
know?
first
He
price
just
he
said,
gave me.
"Okay."
And then I'm like, well, that's a lot. Within 5 minutes, and I didn't even negotiate with him. He was down to 23.
And he says, "If you sign tonight, were there any incentives for that?"
Yeah, like a
Did
$500.
he
coupon.
push signing on you?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, you felt pressure.
Signed today.
There we
Was
go
it-
with the
How many
contracting.
shingles did he offer you? Is it all the same brand?
Yes, same brand.
What brand was it? Just I'm curious. Atlas?
I don't have it. It was.
Atlas.
It
was
certain-
Atlas.
It was
Yes, it was
Certainty. Okay. So you only had one choice. He came there to sell you that one shingle.
Yes.
And 2.5 hours, he went from 30,000 to 22,000.
Yes.
And now listen, folks, for 2.5 hours, everyone knows they should get 3 bids, right? You don't have to do that anymore, but most people get 3 bids. So if you have 2.5 hours on one guy, 2 more guys, it's 6-7 hours of your time. And whether or not you're
$1,000
gonna-
more
yeah.
a minute.
And it's confusing. It's confusing. So then you heard me on the radio and you went to the Roof Resource,
I did. So went to the Roof Resource.
and they came to you. Tell me that process.
Yeah. So I sent them a message. We
Yeah.
got connected. It was simple. Danny was very informative, to the point. He said,
How long was it?
I was just going to say, he said, look, I have a 30-minute call set up. If this call goes past 30 minutes, we're done.
Okay.
It
Batman.
didn't even go 30
Yeah,
minutes.
Danny,
yeah,
Batman.
Batman,
Got
right.
it.
It
Okay.
didn't even go past 30 minutes. He was informative. He told me about the warranty, about the installation.
Organized.
And he also told me about the organization and what to expect through the process. Because I think homeowners need to understand when a contractor comes to your house, you have to understand what happens in the beginning, middle, and completion.
Okay, so you got a $30,000 first bid. Then it went down to 22 after an hour. Roof Resource came in 30 minutes. I'm just curious. Were you impressed with the estimate? And it was online, right? It was Zoom.
It
Zoom
was
call.
a Zoom call, and it was $14,700.
$14,700.
Yes.
For the same roof, if not better.
And I went through. I'm a technical guy. I went through and I looked at every warranty, every shingle. I looked up the shingles. The exact same thing.
Of course it is. It's
it
apples
was
to apples.
literally the same stuff.
And not having somebody in your house.
Right.
And
No
puppy
pressure.
can run around.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, congratulations to you, my friend. I'm happy that you took
I'm
care.
glad I heard about it on your show.
Okay, so for anyone out there who wants a roof at cost, because that's what they do. They sell it at cost. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's a bug. You're never going to stay in business. Well, Mike Harvey, the CEO, he cracked the code. So I got to give him credit. And people are bragging and they're raving about it. So I just think that's really good. 248-539-9797. So Greg and Ashley, just real quick, this time of year for landscaping, is there stuff you can plant?
Well, until the ground freezes, we'll plant all the way till then. What about you?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, it depends on what we're planting.
Yeah, you're not going to put in a patio right now because everything will
shift.
shift. But yeah, plants can go in right now. You know, the biggest thing I always tell everybody is, so let's say that you want we'll call an evergreen, okay? You want a spruce planted at your house. It is your sole responsibility to make sure that that spruce is watered every day till the first frost. So let's say Joe comes in. He wants a spruce right now, or a spruce in May. It is his responsibility to make sure that that's watered every day till now versus planting it right now. You're done with taking care of it because it's going to go dormant and then it'll. Should you
cover your bushes in the winter? You know how I see people cover them, and
also,
you know what about these bulbs? What do they call them?
My answer is it's unnecessary unless you are in a west wind situation.
Okay.
So
what are your thoughts?
I say west wind, and previously doing snow removal for 20 years. It's, where are they located? Is it in a commercial setting? Are you in a parking lot? Is there salt? The guy comes through with his truck and that thing's spinning. There's throwing salt everywhere. Is there salt going in the beds? You want to mitigate some of that as much as you can. We don't want snow piled up on them, things like that.
Yeah.
Some customers swear by, I need my everything wrapped in burlap. I need this, I need that. We do it.
I have a question for you. So what's the proper way of wrapping?
That's another coin flip. I mean, it's a loaded question. It's, what did the customer read online? What do they want you to do? Because at the end of the day, we go out and we do something. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like the way you did it. Well, we're the professionals. You hired us to do a job.
Most people, they wrap it like a Christmas gift. And I was always told, whatever you do, don't wrap it because there's no oxygen. You're going to burn it. Mm-hmm. So...
It's funny. You should say that. 248-539-9797. I'm looking for something unique for my front porch decorations.
Ooh.
What do you have in stock at Sherwood Forest?
Oh, I'm so excited to answer this question. So we have porch pot. Well, you said front door. We not only have the traditional wreath for your door. We hand make all live stuff too, and we have artificial, but the live ones this year are unreal. We have candy canes. We have horse heads. Which is all fresh greens. My brother makes them all from hand. And the wreath, like I brought you, that's got 3 different types of greens in it. But we also have diamond shapes. We have squares, gnomes. We made flat gnomes.
I love
to put on your door too.
The gnome nose. All right, so Greg, it's funny. You say you only work 9 months a year, but now for the last couple of years, you've been doing this basement waterproofing. That's an exploding business.
It's everybody's basement leak. It's not whether your basement's going to leak. It's when your basement's going to leak.
When it's
when.
So, I've always been a proponent of the outside system. However, we all know front porch, rear deck, driveway up the side of the house makes it prohibitive sometimes to do the outside system. So what they've created is an inside system where they break up the floor around the outside of the house. But if it's installed properly, listeners and friends, it works, and it works well. Greg, what is your process, and what do you do?
So I agree with you, Adam. I'm not going to date myself again, but back in the day, we dug it out from the outside. We tarred the walls. That was the process. Is it better to stop the water before it comes in? Sure, 100%. But again, sometimes you can't do that because of the situation at hand. So what it is the perimeter of your house has a drain system on the outside. They're called your drain tiles. They tie into your sewer or to your sump pump, which goes out into the street. And for years and years and years, you don't have to worry about that water coming into your basement. Right. After a while, they clog. What
about my sump pump went. Mm-hmm. Okay, we didn't know it was the sump pump because the sump pump was still working. I thought it was water from outside that poured in.
So that is a very good question, and I've got a great answer for you because the sump pumps we use are made here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. They have a 5-year warranty. And on top of, so a couple of the other competitors, they have their alarms, they have their special. We put 3 pumps in one crock. We do this, we do that.
The triple sump.
The triple sump. There you go, Adam. I don't know if we could say that.
I didn't even know what the alarm button was.
So the alarm button, so let me explain the alarm
off.
button. You have a triple sump, you have 2 pumps, and you have a backup pump.
Yeah.
And then you have a high water alarm. Well, let me tell you what. If 1 pump goes, 2 pump goes, 3 pump goes, then your alarm goes off. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
At that point, what does that do? It
That's
gives you
exactly what happened to me.
It gives you 5 minutes
Yeah.
before it tells you, hey, alarm, your basement's going to flood in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Our pit master system, it's called the Pit Boss. It goes in, it tells you if your amps are fluctuating. It tells you if you lose power. It tells you if your backup is running. It tells you if you have high water.
So your backup, okay, here's the biggest thing. With your backup, it needs to be, my backup was it was on the ground. But your backup, when they installed the new one, they put it above, on the wall. Why would they do that?
So there's different, so you can have 1 primary pump, 2 primary pumps, and a backup pump. There's different configurations for different situations. So I don't know what they did exactly in your basement, I don't know what your crock, if your crock could hold, some of the older crocks, they're narrow at the bottom. You might not have been able to fit something in there.
It's interesting. Very interesting. We're going to keep talking about basement waterproofing with Greg Rapsidis from The Landscaper, Ashley Thomas in the co-host seat, maybe my seat too, just to upset everyone. This is Hire It Done. Keep it locked in. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Ashley Thomas from Sherwood Forest Garden Center in studio with me.
Yoo-hoo.
We've got Greg Repsidis and Adam Trapp from The Landscaper. We're talking basement waterproofing. And by the way, if anyone has a question, and don't forget to shout out Saturday, 248-539-9797. So, Greg, we were talking about basement waterproofing and sump pumps, the triple sump and this and that. And someone commented about the jetting of the water. Like if the power goes out, the city water overcomes and it spins the impeller.
So what it is, it's a water backup. I'll let my technical guy
Advisor,
answer
yeah.
that one. Yeah. Adam, go ahead. You got that one?
Thinking.
So water backups do work. However, they use 10 gallons of water for every 1 gallon they push out. My neighbor had a water backup, and he didn't know his sump pump was broken, and it ran for a month and a half, and he got an $800 water bill. City came out. They couldn't figure out what was going on, and it turned out his sump pump was broken. And that's what's nice about the backup in the system we're using. Depending on what you decide, our pump will actually hook to your phone. It's kind of like...
Which is like an app.
There is an app. Not kind of like an app. There is an app.
So it
Does it need to
notifies
be
you.
powered though? Does it need to be like electricity, or is it on a battery?
No,
It's a battery backup system.
How often do you check your battery?
But the whole... Go ahead,
the-
Adam.
The system will actually tell you battery strength, battery life,
And that's what the app
battery
does?
health. It's right on the controller, but you can also see it from your phone.
The app actually tells you
Okay.
the health of your entire crock and system. It tells you your primary pump. Is your primary pump operating? Is it operating for a long period of time, extended operation? Is there something stuck in it, let's say? Are you drawing too many amps, more the amps than normal? Did your power go out on your primary pump? Is your backup pump working properly, or is it working? Is your battery up to snuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of questions.
There's a
that you
lot
have.
of...
So, Greg, if someone needs an estimate for basement waterproofing, are you going to be there for 2 hours?
No, no. So
It's charged by the foot.
So that's by the job.
Okay,
by the
so it's
job.
by the job.
We kind of estimate it by the foot, but every job is unique
You
and
can
different.
do work this winter.
We can do work all winter. Yes.
Okay, that's good to know. What's the phone number if people need to contact you?
888-HIRE-TLS. That's 888-HIRE-THE Landscaper.
What are Santa's days and hours to visit at Sherwood Forest?
Santa is there Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 5.
I'm getting a
And on
picture of
Fridays
Santa
from
today.
3 to 6.
Can I sit on Santa's lap?
That's up to you guys. You guys can have
Adam, we
Santa.
go sit on Santa's
HR
lap.
won't allow that.
Santa's like 6'4". He can hold.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Greg's kind of, big guy.
Yeah. Well, I was going to be dressed like Santa. Would that be harassment if I had you on my lap?
Right now you didn't wear any Christmas PJs, so you're on the naughty list.
Hanukkah Harry, please. Shout out to Ken Lewandowski. He wants to know what's for lunch healthy. We've got Shelly and Joe Allegro listening. Tom Flanagan, Ed Deischer. Water jet back up to this pump, which we talked about. So how long should a basement waterproofing job last?
How long should it take to complete?
Yeah.
From start to finish, depending on the house, 2 to 4 days.
Okay, that's cool.
We come in, and the good thing about us is we walk you through the whole experience from start to finish. You're going to get a owner there that's going to be on site, pop in every day. You're going to have everything in writing, Adam, how contracts should be written
what's
up.
included. Here's what I always tell homeowners, and I maybe you probably already do this. I tell homeowners when they get an estimate from the contractor, have them write the estimate like a story, beginning, middle, and end. Then once they give it to you, read it and then give it back to him and say, Mr. Contractor, can you please also add to this what's not included? Because sometimes homeowners just don't know.
Yeah.
So we go through and we explain everything that's included. We pride ourselves on giving the customer a full start to finish experience. We don't want to, a lot of companies will not disconnect your washer and dryer, or maybe they'll disconnect it and not reconnect it. So now you've got a 75-year-old grandmother that her basement leaks. We go in, we're going to disconnect your washer and dryer. After we complete our job, we're going to come back a couple days later, pick up our air scrubbers that we put in your basement.
Air scrubbers are for cleaning the air.
Yes.
Smart.
They're air filtration
I've never
system.
seen anyone do that.
Nobody does it in the industry, Adam. That's
really a
that's
good-
what sets us apart.
So that's a best practice.
Yeah.
For sure. Now we'll leave that in your home for a day or two later because the concrete's got to dry. Once we bust out your concrete, install the drain, we put the new concrete on, needs to dry. So we'll come back a day or two later, depending on scheduling. We will reconnect your washer and dryer, and we'll take our air scrubber, finish a quick cleanup, and get out of your hair.
What is an air scrubber?
An air scrubber is a big air filtration system. It's a
Like a
3
big
by
blower?
3. It's a
They use it in insurance repair.
Is it like a big blower, like when I had the fans on in my house for like 2 days?
because it sucks the air in, it takes the moisture out of the air, and then there's an air filter that cleans the air.
There's 3 to 4 filters in the air scrubber. It's basically it's a huge air filtration system. We put 2 to 3 in a basement while we're doing this.
Oh, wow.
Our jackhammers have a vac system built into them, so when you're jackhammering out that concrete and the dust and the chips are flying everywhere, it sucks it right up as much as possible.
Okay.
Then we have our air scrubbers, our huge air filters. They're 3 by 3 by 3 units that have 3 different filters in there.
What happens if there's mold? You find mold. You stop first and remediate?
We stop and remediate the mold, yeah.
Okay, that's
Yep.
important. I
Yeah,
wasn't
definitely.
sure. So when everything's done, it looks good. What if there's a bunch of stuff in the bin? My basement's full of, high school stuff all the way up to college. Do you guys move it, or is that because usually the homeowner's responsible for pulling it away from the wall?
So we can, depending on if you're a
75-year-old
if you're a
homeowner.
40-year-old man that's able and you got a couple kids and you say, hey, Greg, I'll take care of all this.
Yeah.
I'll kind of, okay, let's look at the basement. Let's put it over here in this section.
What about me? From the neck down, I'm worth minimum wage.
We'll move it for you, Adam.
Maybe I can ask you
move
that,
it for you.
and I'll hire that done.
There you
That's what we
go.
want to do. That's what I thought. So what's the phone number, Greg, if someone wants an estimate for basement waterproofing or landscaping?
888-HIRE, HIRETLS, the landscaper. 888-HIRE, the landscaper.
Oh, I love that. 888-HIRE-TLS or the landscaper. I like that. And Ashley, where you're
Yeah, you
located
can't
again?
get that number, 888-HIRE.
Right.
I had
That's
Hire
already-
it done.
No, I used
Hire
to
it
have-
done. It's
wait a
already
minute.
taken.
I used to have 865 Hire It Done.
Did you?
Yeah. No one ever called it, though. So it's just hireitdone.com. Ashley, what do people want to get a hold of you at?
Sherwood Forest Garden Center, 248-652-4920. Or
Santa's there today.
Santa's there today. Or you can follow us on Facebook, which is Sherwood Forest Garden Center.
Yeah, we can put the link on there. And by the way, we're
.com.
Facebook Live if anyone wants to check out us in the studio. 248-539-9797. Morning, the roof resource is the real thing. I had an estimate of $4,800 for the roof we need. 2 other companies quoted over $10,000 each for the roof. Bill and Newport. That's another validation of what that is. So, Greg, if someone wants the big project, they got to take a look now.
Start thinking
Call
about
you.
it now. Call us. Let's get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Let's exchange some pictures, some ideas. Let's get something on paper for you. We'll tell you.
Reserve your slot,
Yeah,
especially if you have
we can get to,
graduation.
I mean, we're at the end of May now for next year.
Or
so
bar mitzvah.
yeah.
Oh, there you go. We'll do that. Bar mitzvah. I was bar mitzvahed.
Were you?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty good, too.
See, there you go. That's better
That's
than
before I ate
a
bacon.
graduation party.
It's before I ate bacon. Hey, it's all good, though. Hey, look, we got to do what we got to do. Well, guess what? The show's over. Isn't that crazy? Ashley, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I didn't get my lap picture. So upsetting. Greg, you're the best. 888-HIRE-TLS. You and Adam, thank you.
Thank you for
I
having
want
us.
to thank everyone for tuning in today. I'm very grateful for that. I'll be in next week. Maybe I'll be dressing like Santa. This is Hire It Done. Have an awesome weekend. Talk to you soon.